When James turned 75, he opened his closet one quiet morning and stared at the rows of shirts, suits, and shoes that hadn't seen daylight in years. He smiled softly and said, "Half of this belongs to a man I no longer am." That single moment said everything, because after 75, the world doesn't really change. You do. The things that once felt so important, so urgent, begin to lose their meaning, and life teaches you what truly matters, one quiet lesson at a time. There's a strange peace that comes after 75. You stop chasing, you stop proving. And one morning you realize that most of the things you used to worry about don't make sense anymore. They don't hurt, they don't excite, they just fade quietly like echoes from another life. Today, let's talk about those things. 9 lessons life gently whispers to you when you've lived long enough to see what really counts. 1. Winning arguments doesn't matter anymore. When you were younger, being right felt important. You'd defend your opinions like they were proof of who you were. But after 75, you begin to see peace is worth more than being right. You realize that most arguments aren't about truth. They're about ego. And ego always takes more than it gives. Now you just let it go. You listen, you nod, and you think, let them have their victory. I have my peace, because in the end, silence heals what pride never can. 2. The rush to impress. People loses its meaning. There was a time you wanted to be noticed, to have people see your work, your clothes, your home. But the older you get, the more you realize that the people who truly matter already see you. You don't dress to be admired anymore. You dress to be comfortable. You don't talk to be heard. You talk to be understood. And you don't chase anyone's approval. You've lived long enough to approve of yourself. The applause fades, but self-respect stays. 3. Possessions don't equal happiness. When you were younger, you measured success by what you owned. The house, the car, the collection of things that made you feel secure. But after 75, you look around and think, why did I need so much? It's not the furniture that matters now. It's who sits beside you. It's not the jewelry that shines. It's the faces that smile back at you. The less you have, the lighter your heart becomes. Because joy was never in things. It was always in moments. 4. Not everyone will stay. And that's okay. You spend your youth trying to keep everyone close. Friends, family, even those who take more than they give. But with age, you learn that not everyone is meant to stay. Some people are chapters, not the whole book. When you stop forcing connections, life brings peace. You start cherishing the few who truly care. The ones who call just to ask, how are you doing today? Because after 75, love is measured not by grand gestures, but by small consistencies. 5. The world's noise isn't yours to carry. You watch the news and sometimes it feels like the world has gone mad. So loud, so divided, so restless. But you've lived long enough to know there has always been noise, and you no longer need to carry it all. You choose what enters your heart. You plant your peace like a garden and protect it, because worrying about every headline won't heal the world, but showing kindness in your little corner still can. 6. Pleasing everyone becomes impossible and pointless. You once wanted everyone to like you. Family, neighbors, strangers. You'd stretch yourself thin, trying to keep the peace. But age teaches you something powerful. Even when you do your best, someone will still find fault. So you stop apologizing for being yourself. You smile, you walk your path, and you wish them well, from a distance if you must. Your worth isn't in how many people approve of you. It's in how deeply you sleep at night, knowing you were honest and kind. 7. Chasing youth stops making sense. You see people trying to fight time, creams, surgeries, filters, but you know something they don't. You can't chase youth without losing dignity. Your wrinkles aren't flaws. They're the map of every laugh, every tear, every survival. You've earned them. You no longer need to look younger. You need to feel lighter. Because beauty fades, but grace only deepens with time. 8. You realize you don't need big crowds, just real company. In your 30s and 40s, you wanted gatherings, parties, excitement. Now you crave quiet dinners, a slow walk, or a phone call that lasts longer than expected. You no longer need 100 people around you. You just need one who listens with their heart. You stop chasing crowds and start cherishing connection. Because the older you get, the more you understand loneliness isn't the absence of people. It's the absence of understanding. 9. Time stops feeling endless and starts feeling sacred. This is perhaps the most profound truth. At 75, you stop pretending you have all the time in the world. You start seeing every sunrise as a privilege, not a promise. You no longer waste days on grudges, gossip, or regret. You forgive more quickly, laugh more easily, and love more deeply. Because you finally see how precious every moment truly is. You start giving your time only to what nourishes your soul. And that's when life becomes peaceful beyond measure. After 75, the world doesn't suddenly become easier, but it becomes clearer. You understand that most of life's battles were never against others. They were against yourself. And now you've made peace with that. You don't need more time, more things, or more people. You just need the calm that comes from knowing you lived, you learned, and you loved honestly. So if you're watching this, remember, life doesn't stop teaching, even when you stop running. And sometimes the quietest years bring the loudest wisdom. What's one thing you stop caring about after 75? Something that used to matter, but no longer does? Share it below. Your words might give someone else the peace they've been searching for. And if this message spoke to your heart, like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more reflections about living, aging, and finding peace in every season of life.